I want to sit up here on national television. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do something I normally don't do, Wendy. I'm going to stand for this.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. He's fired up today.
And I'm going to make a proposal to LeBron James.
Oh, God.
To virtually guarantee him a trip to the NBA Finals, if not a championship. This is the move. Now, if LeBron James wants to put himself in position to win a championship, get traded to the New York Knicks. Center stage, Madison Square Garden, the Mecca. You see that defense?
But the Lakers now need a reboot, and he's a very tradable player. Ask yourself this. Is Luka going to keep scoring 45 points a game? And trade LeBron, get a bunch of picks, maybe get some rotational guys, have sort of an identity because you don't have one now.
The Los Angeles Lakers practice facility in El Segundo was never built to handle earthquakes. Certainly not the kind that shook the building on a quiet afternoon when LeBron James stormed into the front office with one demand: trade me now. But this wasn't a request dressed in diplomacy or sugar-coated with PR. It was a confrontation years in the making, and it exploded into one of the most heated player-GM arguments in modern NBA history. LeBron had entered the building flanked by his longtime agent, Rich Paul, his face stone-cold, his energy unmistakably different. Gone was the statesman-like calm he typically brought to contract discussions. This wasn't business. It was personal. For weeks, tensions had been building between LeBron and the Lakers' front office, especially GM Rob Pelinka. But the final straw came days earlier when the Lakers handed Luka Dončić a massive contract extension worth over $300 million, reportedly the largest in team history. Included in that deal were unprecedented powers. Luka would have a say in roster construction, offensive schemes, and even coaching hires. The message was clear. The Lakers were done building around LeBron James. A new era had begun, and LeBron James wasn't part of it. When LeBron stepped into Pelinka's office that day, it wasn't to talk about the new playbook or off-season moves. He slammed a folder on Pelinka's desk, a printed list of 4 teams he was willing to be traded to: Miami, Phoenix, Philadelphia, and, poetically, Cleveland. Pelinka, blindsided, tried to de-escalate the moment with calm tones. "LeBron, we don't want to trade you. You're the heart of this franchise," he offered. LeBron didn't blink. "Then start acting like it," he snapped back. From that point, the meeting transformed into a verbal war. LeBron lit into the front office for what he described as blatant disrespect and strategic betrayal. He accused the organization of pivoting to Luka behind his back, making personnel decisions without even informing him, despite years of publicly promoting LeBron as the Lakers' on-court general and off-court consultant. "You've got Luka sitting in meetings I'm not even invited to," LeBron shouted, according to one insider. "He's calling the plays before training camp even starts. You want this to be his team? Fine. But don't pretend I'm still your guy." It didn't stop there. LeBron's anger turned toward the treatment of his son, Bronny James. The Lakers had selected Bronny in the second round and proudly rolled out the father-son storyline across all marketing materials. But once Luka re-signed, the tone shifted. Bronny was quietly buried in the depth chart, and development minutes began going to veterans Luka preferred. LeBron saw it as betrayal, not just to him, but to his family. "You used my son to sell jerseys, and now you won't even give him a fair shot," he said. "That's not just bad basketball. That's personal." At this point, Pelinka, normally the portrait of patience, pushed back. He acknowledged LeBron's impact on the franchise, but pointed out that the Lakers had already given him more control than any player in team history. He referenced the Russell Westbrook trade debacle, which was largely influenced by LeBron and had crippled the Lakers' flexibility. "We've made sacrifices for you," Pelinka said. "We trusted your vision. But not every move has worked. That was the moment things truly escalated. LeBron, according to multiple sources, stood up and shouted, "You think I don't know what's worked and what hasn't? I brought you a championship during a pandemic while carrying this team on my back. You act like I'm the problem. The problem is, you've already moved on." With voices raised and the room shaking, the shouting reportedly spilled into the hallway. Staff members nearby heard slamming doors and muffled shouting. One insider called it the most intense argument they had ever witnessed in that building. LeBron walked out of the facility minutes later, furious, telling team security and others around him, "I'm done. Tell them to trade me." Today. The trade request was formalized that night through Rich Paul, sent directly to Jeannie Buss and the Lakers ownership group. But this wasn't just a demand. It was an ultimatum. LeBron made it clear that wherever he went, Bronny James had to be included in the deal. It was a package deal. The father-son NBA dream would live on, just not in purple and gold. The fallout was immediate. The Lakers' front office was thrown into crisis mode. Emergency meetings were held. Jeannie Buss was reportedly blindsided and deeply disappointed at how things had deteriorated. The media team scrambled to prepare for public backlash. Internally, Pelinka argued that honoring the trade request might actually benefit the Lakers, allowing them to fully build around Luka without the shadow of LeBron. Others believed trading the most iconic player in modern basketball would be a stain on the franchise's legacy. Meanwhile, the NBA world lit up with speculation. Would LeBron return to Miami for one final run? Could a Philadelphia deal pair him with Joel Embiid? Would Phoenix make a super team with Durant and Booker? Or could Cleveland bring him home one last time? Across the league, front offices scrambled to assess their assets. Miami had the culture, Phoenix had the stars, Philadelphia had the pieces, Cleveland had the storybook ending. But only one could land the most powerful player in the game, and his heir. As for Luka Dončić, he stayed quiet publicly, but sources say he was caught off guard by the speed and intensity of the fallout. While he had asked for more say in team matters, he reportedly never expected LeBron to leave because of it. But privately, Lakers insiders said Luka was already assuming the role of locker room leader and face of the franchise. Whether he likes it or not, this team is now his. The real tragedy, some argue, is that LeBron's time in Los Angeles could end not with a farewell tour, but with a fracture. No final run, no final roar in Staples. Just a cold split between two powerful forces who wanted control of the same throne. What happens next will define the legacies of everyone involved. For LeBron, it's a final shot at ring number 5 or 6. For Rob Pelinka, it's a defining moment as GM. Trade the king and usher in Luka's future? Or smooth things over and try to keep the dynasty alive for one more ride? And for Bronny James, it's a moment of transformation. No longer just LeBron's son. He's now part of the biggest package deal in NBA history. One thing is clear. This wasn't just a disagreement. This was a clash of eras, of egos, of visions. A generational icon who refuses to be sidelined versus a franchise that believes the future has already arrived. The king made his move. Now the Lakers and the NBA must respond. And when LeBron James says he's done, he means it.